Right now, you tap a link. A video from the other side of the planet starts playing almost instantly. It feels like magic, like it came out of thin air. We call it the cloud. We connect over Wi-Fi, so most people picture their data flying up to space, bouncing off satellites and raining back down. That's almost entirely wrong. Because 99% of the internet between continents doesn't travel through the sky at all. It travels down here, in the cold and the dark, along cables lying on the floor of the ocean. More than 1 million kilometers of glass thread stitched across the seabed, enough to wrap around the Earth over 30 times. This is the real internet, and almost nobody has ever seen it. Let's kill the satellite myth for good. Satellites do exist, and they matter for remote places, but they carry less than 5% of the world's international traffic. They're slow, they're expensive, and there aren't nearly enough of them. The real work is done by physical cables. Right now, there are roughly 400 to 600 of these submarine systems in service, quietly running under every ocean on Earth. If you pull up a map of them, it looks like a nervous system wrapped around the planet. Thin lines connecting every continent, landing on quiet beaches you've walked past without ever knowing what was buried beneath your feet. And these cables move almost everything. Your messages, your video calls, your bank transfers. In fact, over $10 trillion moves across them every single day. If they went dark, the modern world would simply stop. So let's follow a single click. You tap play on a video hosted in another country. Your request leaves your phone, hits your local network, and races to a building most people never notice. A cable landing station on the coast. Here's the clever part. Your data is electricity, but electricity fades fast over distance. So at the landing station, it's handed to a laser and converted into pulses of light. That light dives into the cable and shoots across the ocean floor. But even light gets tired. Every 50 to 100 kilometers, a device called a repeater grabs the weakening signal and boosts it, powered by electricity flowing through the same cable from shore. Thousands of kilometers later, the light surfaces on another continent, gets turned back into electricity, reaches the server, and the answer makes the entire trip back. All of it in the blink of an eye. Now here's the part that sounds impossible. The actual glass fiber carrying all this light. It's about the width of a human hair. The thick cable you picture is almost entirely armor, wrapped around a few impossibly thin threads of pure glass. So how does light travel thousands of kilometers through glass without leaking out the sides? A trick called total internal reflection. The glass core is wrapped in a layer that acts like a perfect mirror, so the light just keeps bouncing forward, trapped inside, never escaping. And they don't send just one beam. Using different colors of light at once, a single fiber can carry dozens of separate data streams simultaneously. That's how one hair-thin strand moves terabits per second. Inside the glass, light travels around 200,000 kilometers per second. That's about 2/3 of its top speed in a vacuum. Slower than pure light, but still fast enough to cross an ocean before you finish blinking. Now for the unsettling part. This trillion-dollar backbone is shockingly fragile. These cables get damaged all the time. On average, somewhere between 150 and 200 faults happen every single year. And the number one culprit isn't sharks or spies. It's us. Around 70 to 80% of all cable damage comes from ship anchors being dragged across the seabed and fishing trawlers snagging the lines. In 2002, one ship's anchor cut 3 of the 4 cables linking America to Europe. When a cable breaks deep in the ocean, a specialized repair ship sails out, drops a grapnel kilometers down, hauls the broken cable up to the surface, splices it back together by hand, and lowers it back. There are only about 60 of these ships on Earth, and a single repair can take weeks. So why doesn't the internet collapse every week? Redundancy. When one cable dies, traffic instantly reroutes through others. You just get a slowdown instead of a blackout, but cut enough at once and whole countries can be knocked offline. So who owns all of this? For most of history, it was governments and phone companies. But that's changed dramatically. Today, four tech giants, Google, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft, own or control roughly half of the world's undersea bandwidth. On the busiest routes, their share has gone from about 10% to nearly 90% in just a decade. Think about what that means. The same handful of companies that run your search, your feed, and your inbox increasingly own the physical roads your data travels on. The cloud isn't just software anymore. It's real estate on the ocean floor. So the next time someone says your photos are in the cloud, remember what's really happening. A laser is firing your data as light, through a glass thread thinner than a hair, across the pitch-black bottom of the ocean, dodging anchors and earthquakes, to reach a machine on the far side of the world, and back before you can blink. The cloud is the most physical thing you touch all day. It's not in the sky, it's under the sea. If this changed how you see the internet, follow for more of the invisible tech running your life.